Good morning, everyone. Today's Tuesday. Hold on, I need to mute my phone because I was looking at it to make sure it's on YouTube. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Or that would have been very difficult for me and probably for everybody else. But it's Tuesday, 23rd day of June. It's Tuesday of the 12th week in Ordinary Time. I guess a couple apologies. I apologize that last or yesterday there was no update. It just kind of was a weird situation. I was expecting a phone call meeting at 8 o'clock yesterday morning. That didn't happen. So I thought maybe it'd be at 9. It didn't happen then. And then I just started doing other things. And probably about 7 o'clock last night, I went, oh, yeah, I was supposed to do an update this morning. So my apologies. It's not that I forgot everybody. It's just that it was one of those days, one of those things that happens. And I know, too, that for some reason I'm having a lot of difficulty trying to get our mass put online right now. Whatever I seem to be trying to use to upload the video recording, it's just not going very smoothly. So I'll keep working on that, see what I can do to maybe improve that, or we're looking still at if we have possibility of just kind of putting it on Facebook Live at least each weekend. But like I said, I keep learning more and more about technology, and on that front too, I know that the diocese is sponsoring a webinar. I think it's on Thursday afternoon that I'll be participating in, and it's about live streaming because so many parishes have been using this technology through Facebook or YouTube or Variety on their websites, and so and a lot have been doing it. Like I did it, like we had to do it here, where it was a laptop or a tablet or a phone, just sitting in front of the altar. So that's the first. I know they're doing a series of them, and the first one's I think called like Livestream 101, and that's what we need. That just idea to see what are possibilities to use as maybe continue to do that because even when we finally get past all of this, there's always going to be people who, for whatever reason, are not able to attend Mass and are staying at home. And so if we can provide recording or a stream of our Mass in a reasonable way, that's good. That's a good thing for us to be able to do, and also to use it for other things that for remote, however we want to do it on social media or to spread the gospel. So it's one of the things that we have at our disposal in this modern age, and so we want to make sure that we're using all the technologies that God has allowed us to develop and that are part here of our lives for good, for the spread of the gospel. So it has been kind of a big weekend, big couple weekends, the last couple weekends, especially here at St. John's and in the diocese. On Friday evening, 2 men were ordained as deacons with the looking forward to, God willing, next year they would be ordained as priests, Deacon Albert Belts and Deacon Joseph Momini. So keep them in your prayers as they have just a little under a year of service as a deacon. And then also this coming Saturday morning, we'll have priesthood ordination. There's 4 men to be ordained as priests. The one that's probably most familiar to anybody at St. John's or St. Michael's is Zach Brown. He stayed with me one summer. He was working with Catholic Charities, but he lived here over for 8 weeks or so in the summer. So he's going to be ordained as a priest this Saturday morning. So keep him and the other 3 men to be ordained in your prayers too, and their families. It's a great celebration, even though it's going to be a little bit more limited. But that's available on live stream too, through the diocesan website, I'm sure, or even probably the diocesan Facebook page. There'll be ways that you're able to see that. Just thinking too, we had confirmation, which was a wonderful celebration. That's I think it's the only time I've ever been able to do confirmation that way. I've ever been delegated by the bishop to do that. the Easter Vigil, when adults are baptized, then the priest that baptizes them also confirms them. So I have confirmed people before, but this was the first time that it was for people who were baptized as infants, and now we're completing their sacraments of initiation with confirmation. So that was a wonderful celebration with our young people. And the week before that, we had First Communion. So I don't want to say we're all caught up, but we have kind of probably completed most of the celebrations that were postponed because of the pandemic. So we're slowly but surely starting to bring back, I think, a little bit of normalcy or a little bit of the regular schedule. And on that note too, this weekend, speaking of kind of schedule, it's not necessarily normal, but tomorrow, the rest of the church, for the most part, will be celebrating the Nativity of St. John the Baptist. Well, since that's our patron saint, we have the ability to move that to the weekend so that we can celebrate it in probably in a fuller fashion, with more people are able to participate in it. So we obviously get more people on the weekend to come to Mass than we do in Wednesday mornings. Right now I don't have a public Mass, so we'll be celebrating that this weekend. And although we won't be celebrating at St. Michael's, one of the things that both places will be doing is we're going to start using our hymnals again. And the reason for that is that they're going to sit for a week with nobody touching them. So they will be quote unquote quarantined. And whatever I've ever seen online has said that there's no way that the virus is going to live for a week in a hymnal, that people so there wouldn't be a source of spread of the virus or anything like that. And I've also told people too, if they want to take one of them home, like to use for their own kind of personal use, bring it back and forth each week, that's possible. They can do that too, if that makes them feel a little bit safer about using a hymnal. So it hopefully will give us a little bit of a better way to participate. It'll give us opportunity probably for more songs that we can sing. So we're going to take that step. So at St. John's, we'll have a group of hymnals that are set aside just for the 4:30 Mass. After 4:30 Mass, we'll put those away and bring out the other set for 10:30 Mass, and just do it that way, so that there's none of the hymnals that were used on Saturday evening would be used on Sunday morning. And at St. Michael's, that's the Sunday morning Mass is the time we have that. So they'll just be put away for the week and brought back out on Sunday morning. So it's another step. And I know that there's singing was one of those kind of hot button issues, and I understand that too. But the one thing I can say is that since everybody has been so good about wearing face coverings, those who are able to, that does lower the concern that in singing that there's going to be transmission also. If everybody was sitting, if we weren't following kind of those guidelines and everybody was sitting right next to each other without masks, yeah, we would probably be in a different situation. But I'm very grateful that everybody has taken it very seriously and followed the precautions as best we can, so that some of these things that add to the beauty of our celebration of the sacred liturgy we're able to do because of taking the steps that we need to. So that's kind of just a little update on all kinds of different things that are going on. So hopefully everyone has a wonderful week. I guess the weather, we have a little bit of rain this morning, but it's going to start getting better. And I think I have a couple tomatoes just starting to form on my tomato plants, so I'm getting excited about that too. Now I need to get out and weed my garden, so got too many weeds in there. So one of these days, hopefully, maybe one of these evenings, I'll have the opportunity to do that and get it all cleaned up and keep it looking good and growing. Boy, that hot weather, those tomatoes are really growing, and pepper plants look like they've got a couple buds on them too. So hope everyone has a wonderful day. Hope everyone stays safe and healthy. We'll continue to look out and pray for one another, and pray that God will bless you abundantly this day. Have a great day, everyone.